What's going on? This is Demario Davis, linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, and this is the French Quarter Podcast. Go Saints, this is the Saints in French.
Et salut à tous, bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode du French Quarter Podcast, le podcast le plus francophone, le podcast NFL de l'équipe la plus francophone, pardonnez-moi. Je perds un peu mes moyens car comme vous l'aviez deviné, nous sommes aujourd'hui le 3 mars 2025-2026. Je me perds dans mes mots parce que, écoutez, je pense que tout le monde est au courant désormais. Nous avons une interview avec le capitaine des Saints, Demario Davis. Messieurs, et puis on a une autre nouvelle. John, félicitations.
Merci bien. Merci. Effectivement, Demario nous a annoncé une belle nouvelle à la fin de cette interview. Une interview qui s'est révélée être vraiment très chouette, qui dure un bon 15 minutes et qui se conclut par une magnifique nouvelle. Mais on va vous laisser découvrir tout ça à la suite.
All right, I'll start then. So, Jermaine, we're gonna ask you some questions and feel free to say whatever you want and and thank you for everything because it's an honor to have you in the podcast, of course. So I'll start from there. But first question to Mario, and it's nice to see you again, actually, because we met you, all of us, we met you in Paris first time when you came last year. So how are you doing since your Parisian trip last summer?
Yeah, man. Firstly, it is incredible to see you guys again. It was an honor to meet you and just connect with you and hear about your fan base. Just incredible. It's been blessed, man, since we last saw each other. I think when I was leaving Paris, we were getting ready to head back into training camp, and the season was getting started up. And man, it was a fun season. There were a lot of highs and a lot of lows. We didn't ultimately have the season that we wanted to have, but man, so many great things happened and so much momentum kind of left coming out of that season. It was I think probably about week 10 where we really kind of caught our stride. After playing some really good teams, I think we got battle tested early on. All the teams that we played early on were playoff teams. And we got battle tested with new coaches, new staff, a lot of people in new positions, a lot of young players playing. But we kind of caught our footing and we kind of caught our stride and finished the season, with a few win streaks in there and just a lot of fun, a lot of momentum going into the offseason. So it was an incredible year. And now we're here in the offseason again. And who knows? I might be making another trip out to Paris to see you guys.
We hope so.
We'd love to.
Yeah, we hope so. And talking about Paris, we already touched the topic back in July. But can you tell us a little bit more what does this trip meant to you and what did you enjoy the most in Paris?
Oh my gosh, such a groundbreaking trip. I think number one, I think the biggest thing that stands out is Paris is a sister city to New Orleans. Like there's so many qualities that just kind of overlap. So much cultural overlap. So much just natural connection for people who are in Paris and people in New Orleans. And so just being able to experience that was incredible. We had a blast, all the different places that we went, all the different sites that we got a chance to see. But I think one of my funnest moments while there was being able to go to the Paris Musketeer game and, being in the crowd with that fan base, with the people, and just seeing that energy and love for football that exists there. Just a natural, another connection point. Being up there with the Red Company was great. So it was a great time. We really enjoyed our trip, and it was just a natural connection to the place that nice. I feel like is organic and is really gonna lend its way to the Paris New Orleans partnership in the future.
Just you discussed a little bit about the 2025 season, but I would like to ask you a little bit more about this season. And we know that the season did not start the way you guys wanted, but you turned it around. How did you overcome adversity as a team to finish strong on this season?
Yeah, so three of our mantras for the season, kind of our theme and core of our team was tough, together, and joy. And we went through a really tough gauntlet early on in the season, but we were tough. We were very resilient. We kept responding, even though we weren't getting the results that we wanted. We were tough, and we stayed together. We had a good group of veterans
Yeah.
that really kept the team together. And so, like, a lot of times when you start losing or things you're not going the way you want it, people kind of go towards individual goals. But we stayed as a collective unit. I think that was a big due to the way the coaches coached, the way the leaders stepped up, and the way the young guys bought in. And then just joy. Like, it was a lot of fun in the process. So even though things weren't going the way that we wanted, like, going to work wasn't stressful. Like, there was joy in our workouts, there was joy in our practice, there was joy in our meeting rooms. And I think once we kind of got our footing, and we kind of, I think it was we were 3-10 at the time, but we won our third game. When we won, there was just this feeling that not all 3-10 teams look the same. It's like, it's not just that you're losing, it's the way that you lose. And we were responding and showing up the right way. And from there, it just kind of broke, like the dam kind of broke, and we kind of caught our rhythm and caught our stride. And that last part of the season, we went on a 4-game win streak, and what would have been a 5-game win streak, had our whole team not essentially been hurt. And we still played very well in that game as well. So I think you had an offense that really started to find its identity, defense that really started to click. We knew our identity, just really putting it together in whole complete games. We were able to do that down the stretch. And I think it just let us wrap up the season with a ton of momentum, with a ton of direction, knowing exactly where we want to go, knowing exactly what needs to take place. And it was a great way to finish the season.
Yeah, because like as we say, like often in New Orleans, we talk a lot about culture, building a culture. And I think like first time when you came to the team, like I think you found this culture, with like veterans, Drew Brees, like all those guys, and the spirit of a city as well. No, it seems like so it's a new cycle with a new brand, like um with a new head coach, with new coaches, like a new coaching staff, new players, youngsters in the teams, and everything. You're building a new great culture. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, like it's a bit confused, but what I mean is like we can tell from this season, you guys are building a great culture actually in the locker room, with the new coaches and the new guys in the team. And you as a vet, like how do you feel, like what makes this culture very special right now for you as a Saints player, as a Saints captain?
Yeah, one thing about being in New Orleans is the culture is embedded throughout. And so even if you look at the history of the Saints, like the culture is embedded throughout. It's a culture that's embedded with the city, that's built on resilience, that's built on toughness, that's built on a lot of fun in the play and a lot of charisma and a lot of energy. And that's been embedded throughout. You go all the way back to the Dome Patrol era and Archie Manning, and then you come up through kind of like the Super Bowl era with Drew Brees and Sean Payton. And that's kind of what I kind of caught the tail end of. And now there's a new era being formed, right? There's a new era that needs to be a new era that to fit where football is today. It's not the same game that it was when the Saints won the Super Bowl in 2009. It's a different game. And so I kind of caught the tail end of that Super Bowl era with Sean Payton and Drew Brees. But once Sean Payton and Drew Brees left, like it needed to kind of find a new identity and inside the culture that already exists. And so it was great for me to be able to play a continuation part, to be able to kind of string those two eras together, to kind of see the end of an old era and the beginning of a new. And that I feel like I've been, kind of one of those staple pieces that has kind of helped take that. And I think that identity is there. You have coaches who are very brilliant and more new age offenses and defenses with with Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley. The way that they think about the game matches what you will see in today's offenses and defenses that excel. I think you have a ton of young players who fit that system. You have a quarterback who has the potential to be great in Tyler Shough. He plays with a ton of confidence and a ton of boldness. He plays with a ton of confidence and a ton of boldness and a ton of swagger. I think you have a defense that really gets it and fits it. You have a great edge rusher and Chase Young and Carl Granderson and Brian Brzee in the middle. And on the back end, you have a Jonas Saker and a Kool-Aid McKinstry and a Alontae Taylor. And then you have young up-and-coming linebackers and Pete Werner and Danny Stutzman and Isaiah Stallbird. And so you kind of have all the makings of the things that you need. And so you have a great offensive line, two first-round picks in the last 2 years, kind of flanking the outside, some really good young talent on the inside. And you have all the pieces that you need to kind of build around and to let that identity take off. You got a great number one receiver in Chris Olave, who just had a phenomenal year, all-pro wide receiver. Yeah. So you got all the pieces that you need to kind of run into the future.
Yeah. And you were talking about Tyler Shough, and he was one of the key factors of success outside of your great season, Demario. But Tyler seemed to emerge not only as a promising player, but also a great leader. What can tell you us about Tyler, and how do you envision his role on this team?
Yeah, I think he just needs to continue to take the next step. Not too much being put on his plate too fast. I think what you see, kind of these guys have these incredible, first years. How do they make sure that they have that good second year? I think number one is, making sure they stay healthy, especially at that position. He's going to continue to rise as long as he is able to stay healthy. I think he puts a ton of time into his craft. That's going to allow him. So just continue to do that. He's only going to get smarter. He's only going to get more instinctual. He's only going to get better the more and more of the game he sees and the more reps that he gets. But he already has leadership on him. He kind of came in with that. I think that's what the game allows for guys to come in a little bit later now because of all the things that have happened with college and NIL and COVID and things like that. And so he had many more reps coming in. So that has positioned him well to kind of be more mature and kind of be ready to take the reins. And so I think him just taking the next step is a combination of, not putting too much on his plate and preparing a runway for him to take the next step and him staying healthy. I think also to go a long way for the organization to take time to put, more pieces around him. I think that's going to help. I think being able to do things as adding depth on the interior of the offensive line just to make sure he's protected, get another running back to go to be a running mate with some of those special pieces that they have in the backfield, Alvin Kamara, he leads the way, but it's also a lot of other good backs on the team as well. But being able to add another running mate there, especially being able to put another weapon on the outside at wide receiver. So whether that's being addressed as veterans or being addressed, from free agency or addressed in the draft, I think that's going to be critical to his growth. I do think like maybe one or two pieces that are a little more seasoned so that the whole offense isn't young. But I think that'll be a major piece of what can be brought in the offseason and addressed in free agency and the draft.
Nice. I would like to continue about the optimism around this team, because I am optimism after this season about the Saints and about Tyler Shough, and we know that the NFC South could be up for grabs. How could we get back to be NFC South champions?
Just keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
It ain't nothing to be done. If it's nothing more that really needs to be done, all we got to do is just roll out from the last season, and as much that can be retained from last season and go into this season, the better. We're right there, and that's the hard part, is to get to where we are the team has been when we finished. And going into the next season, you can carry that momentum over into the new season, keeping things as close to similar as possible, but adding a few depth pieces. I think is a game changer. The hardest part is to get to where we are now, and I was a part of that process of watching the breaking of the old and kind of getting into the new. And I think the team is positioned well to really run. This offseason is going to be critical, though.
So last question is about France. So do you have any update about this game in Paris, like which is supposed to happen soon? And just to wrap it up, like if you have anything to say to the French fans right now.
Yeah, I don't have any updates as to when it will take place. But I'm a big believer that it will happen and at some point in the right time. That is a lot that kind of goes into that as far as the NFL and ownership and when all the right pieces can fall into place. But I do know that there is an incredible connection between New Orleans and Paris, and there's a lot of excitement that the game does happen. And what I do believe is when the game finally comes to Paris, and whenever it does, that it's going to be one of the most exciting NFL games to happen across the waters. And so just really excited about that and where it'll really go. And just excited that the partnership will continue to be fleshed out. It was a chance, we got a chance to have some of the Paris Musketeers come to the Saints facility. And so just having that cross-cultural interaction is great, but I think it'll be able to happen on a massive scale once the game, actually takes place. And so I do know that all the minds that kind of go into that are exciting about making that happen. But I have, no updates on when that will be, but definitely excited that it will come at some point.
Got you. Thank you. Last word for French fans while listening to the podcast.
Oh yeah, man, just incredible. Appreciate you guys. Thankful for the support. We definitely feel you all the way over here, though it's many miles away. We definitely feel the support. And just really grateful to you guys and being a part of Saints Nation, and really looking forward to just spending more time together. Looking forward to kind of getting over there and seeing you guys again and just reconnecting. But just really grateful for the support. Really felt it in a unique way this year.
Thank you, Demario. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Demario. Thank you very much.
And John, before we go, what if I told you that you have been selected as the Saints International Fan of the Year?
No way. You kidding
You
me?
have been selected as the Saints International Fan of the Year. No, man, fully serious. You and one guest will be brought to the NFL draft in Pittsburgh in April.
Oh, okay.
And you will get a chance to announce the Saints pick.
That's crazy.
Thank you. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Demario. Thank you, the Saints. Thanks for everything. We've been we told you last time in Paris, we spent so much time, so many years. We look young, but we're older than we look. We spent so many years watching Saints games, at crazy time, in the middle of the night and everything. And it is. Thank you for the present. Thank you, guys. Really, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Messieurs, eh bien, je pense qu'il y a eu pas mal de choses qui ont été dites dans cet épisode. Alors, pour rappel, ça a été tourné en janvier, ça a été enregistré en janvier. On n'avait pas le droit de sortir l'interview avant l'annonce des fans internationaux de l'année qui tombait le 23 février, si je ne dis pas de bêtises sur la date. C'est ça. Donc, on apprend beaucoup de choses. Que le Stade de France, on ne sait pas trop où ça en est. Il faut bien comprendre que l'épisode du Stade de France survient peut-être une semaine avant. Cette partie, on parle du Stade de France, ça survient une semaine avant l'annonce. Voilà, donc C'était un peu limite. Et puis surtout, je pense qu'on a la nouvelle de l'année, puis la nouvelle de l'histoire du podcast, tout simplement, et de l'histoire de Saints France. Nous avons un membre de Saints France qui est fan international de l'année, John.
Quelle histoire si tu m'avais dit en 2015 quand je reprenais le compte Saints France qu'on en arriverait là, je t'aurais pas cru, hein, clairement. C'est un bel accomplissement. Avant de tout, je vous dis merci à vous parce que c'est surtout grâce à vous et votre travail au quotidien depuis des années que ça c'est possible, mais aussi merci à tous les followers, à tous les auditeurs qui suivent notre travail et le compte Twitter depuis des années. C'est vous qui nous donnez de la force et j'ai un peu l'impression que c'est le cadeau de tout le monde, de toute la commu et on va essayer de vous en faire partager un maximum. Je dis bien on parce que je suis accompagné de monsieur Bertrand.
Bonsoir.
On va essayer de vous faire des formats vidéo, de vous poster plein de trucs pendant que nous sommes à Pittsburgh. On essaiera de faire peut-être un vlog, qui sait, si on n'est pas des trop gros boomers. Mais le but, c'est de faire un maximum de contenu pour vous faire vivre ça depuis les coulisses et l'intérieur.
Je suis en train de faire passer mon compte formation CPF pour des formations d'influenceurs Instagrammeurs pour vous faire du vlog de qualité. Non, ce n'est pas vrai. Ça sera que au talent.
Autant dire qu'il n'y en a pas beaucoup. Pardon.
Dites donc. Mais avant tout ça, ouais, ça reste déjà pour John une annonce qui est incroyable et pour le pod une visibilité qui est dingue et ça commence à faire plaisir quand tu vois que la franchise commence à nous mettre, enfin, on a commencé à tisser des liens avec la franchise et qui commence à perdurer. Donc ça, c'est des choses qui sont quand même assez fortes et c'est incroyable. Et ensuite, et je remercierai jamais aussi. C'est John, il m'a pas choisi, mais je remercierai jamais aussi Elio qui me laisse aller prendre la place pour accompagner John à la draft et ça reste toujours merci, juste merci et il le sait, mais ça va être un moment incroyable et je serai surtout là pour accompagner John et essayer de documenter le plus possible ce moment qui va être incroyable. Je crois que j'ai dit plusieurs fois incroyable, mais ça va être incroyable.
C'est le sentiment.
Je pense que vous devinez bien que John va évidemment tomber sur le seul joueur samoan qui va être drafté cette année par les Saints. Donc
Priez pour moi, s'il vous plaît.
Voilà. Il va falloir prononcer son nom sur le stage en direct devant les caméras et un grand public. Bon, alors, fan international de l'année du match à Paris également, c'est quand même un beau package. Pour l'instant, pour être tout à fait transparent avec vous, on n'a pas plus d'infos que ça par rapport au dernier épisode qu'on a fait à propos du Stade de France. En revanche, John, Bébert, parlons rapidement, survolons très rapidement cette interview avec Demario Davis, parce que mine de rien, de base, les Saints nous ont fait le beau cadeau et on remercie la franchise de nous contacter en disant on vous offre une interview de 10-15 minutes avec tonton Demario, tout simplement. Donc pour nous déjà c'était exceptionnel. Avant même l'annonce du fan international de l'année, on s'est retrouvé donc avec notre capitaine, on a pu lui poser des questions. Comment vous l'avez ressenti vous Demario, qui d'ailleurs était dans sa voiture, pas pour les bonnes raisons, parce qu'en fait il était à l'époque il était dans le Tennessee.
Ouais,
et dans le Tennessee, à ce moment de l'année, il y avait d'énormes problèmes de météo avec des chutes de neige et du coup il s'est bien débrouillé en tout cas pour pouvoir enregistrer avec nous. C'était cool de sa part.
Ouais, non, vraiment très cool. Et puis, en revoyant l'interview, là, en faisant une partie du montage, je m'aperçois quand même que il est entraîné comme ça. C'est un très bon communicant. Tu lui poses une question, pendant 5 minutes derrière, il va répondre. Tu l'as senti sincère dans ses réponses. Évidemment, il y a toujours une partie de langue de bois parce que c'est un professionnel, c'est un sportif et voilà. Mais tu le sens sincère dans ses réponses. Il n'y a plus qu'à espérer qu'il re-signe avec la franchise d'une année supplémentaire ou 2, j'en sais pas, en fonction de son corps. Mais il y a un monde où Demario Davis n'est plus sous les couleurs des Saints d'ici 2 semaines et ça risque de nous rendre très tristes. Mais en tout cas, il a été adorable à l'image de quand on l'a rencontré cet été. Très abordable, hyper communicant, vraiment dans un côté, un côté papa en fait, un côté papa, un côté tonton, vraiment où, tu as juste envie de lui faire un gros câlin et lui dire: «Bah, merci».
Pas mieux, je pense que tu as un peu tout raconté et genre j'avais ressenti, ce même sentiment, cette même émotion quand j'avais pu lui parler en direct à Paris dans ce bar, le jeudi soir vers Saint-Michel où, il est à l'écoute, il t'écoute réellement et il te regarde avec vraiment une vraie intention et c'est vrai qu'il fait vraiment humain et pas, il te prend pas à la légère, donc je trouve que c'est toujours assez agréable de parler avec des gens qui ont l'air, concernés par la discussion, même si parfois ça peut être du paraître, mais au moins il fait il fait l'effort d'être attentionné, donc non, c'est trop cool, quoi. Ça reste quand même une des légendes, enfin peut-être pas légende, mais un des grands noms de la franchise actuelle, donc c'est quand même,
Ouais.
incroyable pour nous, quoi.
Et puis mine de rien, on l'a eu quand même un bon quart d'heure alors
Mmh.
qu'il aurait pu, juste nous faire la surprise de l'annonce et pas jouer le
Ouais,
jeu. Il a joué le
ça.
jeu jusqu'au bout et si, Alicia des Saints, «coupait pas» entre guillemets, je pense qu'on pouvait, continuer 3-4 questions derrière encore
C'est
facile.
clair. Ouais, je pense que lui, il s'en foutait, hein.
Il était prêt, bien sûr.
C'était vraiment la franchise qui avait dû un peu, cadrer sur les 15 minutes, mais je pense que lui, il s'en foutait si c'était 15, 20 ou 25 minutes, hein.
En tout cas, on se retrouve bientôt pour un nouvel épisode. Vraiment, on remercie sincèrement la franchise pour tout, hein, tout simplement. Ça a été un beau cadeau. On a failli oublier de le dire, mais la franchise avait en fait poussé pour que ce soit tous les trois qui sommes sélectionnés
Ah,
en tant que fans internationaux de l'année.
Et ça, c'est
Que
adorable.
ce soit, ouais, vraiment, que ce soit le podcast entier, mais bon, la NFL
et
est
rigide.
assez restrictive là-dessus, donc c'était ce qui posait souci. En tout cas, c'était vraiment un très beau geste de la part de nos Saints. Et je voulais vraiment remercier tout le personnel qui a été top pour nous et pour nous obtenir cette interview et pour toute l'organisation à venir par rapport à John. Vous aurez bientôt des nouveaux épisodes parce qu'il y a la free agency qui démarre. Il y a la draft
Et la nouvelle saison?
il y a la draft qui va ensuite passer, mais surtout, oui, ça va donner le début de la nouvelle saison avec plein de surprises. Vous verrez et puis vous nous en direz des nouvelles. En tout cas, John, félicitations, mon vieux. Tu le mérites.
Merci.
Vénère,
Et
viens avec John et surveille-le surtout.
Et oui, félicitations John et surtout, pour des places pour le match à Paris, n'hésitez pas à contacter John directement
arrête!
pour
John Master.
Il y a qu'Étienne qui fait ça. Il m'a déjà demandé 20 fois. Et non,
La marche à suivre.
Elio t'a annoncé quelques petites surprises pour la saison à venir. On va en commencer par en annoncer une avec le lancement de notre canal Discord qu'on a lancé du coup dans la foulée de l'annonce de Mario Davis il y a une semaine. Du coup, n'hésitez pas à nous rejoindre. Les liens sont dans nos différents Linktree qui sont en bio de notre page Twitter ou Instagram. Vous pouvez nous rejoindre. On est déjà une petite quarantaine, mine de rien. Ça commence à papoter tranquillement et l'ambiance est chouette. Donc, n'hésitez pas à passer par là.
Gros
t'as raison.
travail, gros travail de John sur le Discord qui est complet. Ça parle aussi bien Saints que NFL, que football américain, que autre chose que tout ça, avec la ville de la Nouvelle-Orléans, de la musique, de la bouffe, tout. Donc, et c'est vraiment sympa. Bonne ambiance
Merci.
sur le Discord et très gros travail de John pour avoir fait ça de façon quali.
Totalement, ouais. John qui connaît bien les chantiers, bien évidemment, et toute la
Je
construction.
t'emmerde.
Mais en tout cas, c'est vrai que pour Discord, j'ai appris ça il y a quelques mois. Il y a carrément une tech qui n'est pas sur Twitter ou sur les autres réseaux sociaux, mais qui évolue que sur Discord. Donc, si vous avez des amis dans ce mood-là et qui aiment le foot américain, n'hésitez pas à leur dire de rejoindre, bien évidemment. Messieurs, on se revoit bientôt parce que la free agency démarre très bientôt, en fait. Donc,
Et oui.
on va vite se retrouver, mine de rien. Et puis, ça va être cool. John, félicitations. Bisous à tout le monde. Bisous les auditeurs. Et comme d'habitude, on se quitte avec les 2 meilleurs mots de la fin. Je fais le décompte. Who Dat?
Who Dat?
Salut tout le monde.